Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News. The redeveloped Kimber market in West New Britain has now been completed. The Kimber market redevelopment is a joint initiative of the West New Britain, Australian and New Zealand governments. It will provide accessible, reliable and secure market facilities for the local people. The redeveloped market provides increased opportunities for economic security for market vendors, their families and their communities, and a safer, more comfortable and more accessible market infrastructure for all market users. It will support ongoing social and economic development and prosperity in the province. Visitors, patrons, vendors and their families will benefit from the market's new amenities. These include patron washing areas, freshwater storage facilities, improved lighting and safety features, essential sanitary waste management facilities and better access for people and vehicles. There are also environmental features such as solar power and rainwater harvesting. A team of China medical specialists from the first affiliated hospital of Chongqing Medical University will be conducting training on minimally invasive surgery at the Port Moresby General Hospital. This is the second high-level visit from the team of China medical specialists from the Chongqing. They commenced their week-long visit at the Port Moresby General Hospital with a donation of about 300,000 kina worth of medical supplies for minimally invasive surgery. Dr. Pake Molumi, Chief Executive Officer of Port Moresby General Hospital, says the partnership established in 2002 has facilitated 16 visits and over 190 doctors and nurses visits to the Port Moresby General Hospital. It is through this partnership that the minimal invasive surgery training program has evolved in the urology field.
Invasive surgery, so that's the next level of surgery that we want to promote moving forward for Port Moresby General Hospital as the National Specialist Referral and Teaching Hospital.
The Small and Medium Enterprises Corporation has appointed Diana Guria as its Director of the Business Advisory and Capacity Building Division. Her appointment marks a historic movement as the first female director in the corporation's 33-year history. With over 30 years of experience in the banking sector and a master in international business and entrepreneurship, Guria will lead key entrepreneurs training programs. Her priority is the nationwide training of entrepreneurs rollout program 2022 to 2026, aiming to train 200 entrepreneurs annually in each of the 6,112 wards. Managing Director Petrus Ronald applauded his milestone, aligning it with the government's commitment to gender diversity in senior public sector roles. Guria looks forward to her role as Director of Business Advisory and Capacity Building as SME Corporation embraces inclusivity with the motto, Growing MSMEs in Growing PNG. Australia's Prime Minister has announced a year-long investigation into how the nation handled the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, but he's facing accusations he's letting premiers and chief ministers get off scot-free. Anthony Albanese insists the expert panel can look at whatever issue they deem to be relevant to the inquiry, but his government has excluded state and territory governments' decision-making from the probe.
At South Australia's hub for excellence in medical research,
what an amazing building.
The Prime Minister announcing an inquiry into whether the COVID-19 response met the nation's lofty standards.
This pandemic may well be, indeed, is not likely to be the last one that occurs.
A former public servant, an epidemiological expert and a health economist putting pandemic preparedness under the microscope. Issues for investigation including the purchase and rollout of vaccines and the billions of dollars in financial support offered to individuals and businesses during the darkest days of the crisis.
There were a range of things that we did that were very good, but what can be done better in the future?
We have the benefit of hindsight, we have the benefit that we're not in the middle of a pandemic, to really look closely at all those decisions.
Some of the most contentious matters, such as state and territory border closures and lengthy lockdowns, will escape scrutiny, with the inquiry's terms of reference expressly excluding actions taken unilaterally by state and territory governments.
The Prime Minister is putting the interests of Daniel Andrews and Anastasia Palaszczuk ahead of the interests of the Australian people.
At the time of the pandemic, there were 3 Liberal premiers in states and 3 Labor premiers.
If there's nothing to hide here, then why not let the sunshine in?
In the lead up to last year's election, the Prime Minister outlined his intentions.
I support looking at it through a measure like a Royal Commission. We haven't finalised what the structure would be.
It should be a Royal Commission. There's no question about that.
What do you think a Royal Commission could do that this couldn't do? Nothing.
That's not quite right, with the powers a Royal Commission has to compel witnesses and evidence going far further than what the Prime Minister has announced today. And there will be serious questions about the legitimacy of this inquiry, given that carve-out of state and territory decisions and the marked impact they had on the lives of millions of Australians over a 2-year period.
Queensland has experienced one of its warmest September days on record. Unseasonal heat weather conditions swept across state as dozens of bushfires continued to burn at the east coast. All blazes are contained, but authorities are warning it's only a taste of what's going to come this summer.
A kaleidoscope of colours. The foggy Brisbane sunrise, a harmonious backdrop to welcome in the day.
It was a very pleasant surprise to see a scene like this, so taking a few pictures and send them around the place and see what the boys have missed out if they didn't come.
The mercury soared across the state in one of the warmest September days on record. Coolangatta hitting a new high of 33.9 degrees. Brisbane soared to 35, while Julia Creek reached 39 degrees.
Nothing better than these beaches, blue skies, no clouds, the high rises, we love it. We love it. It's very nice.
It's great. The water's wild.
In Winton in outback Queensland, hundreds of iron men and women endured sweltering conditions, putting their strength to the test.
The sun is just outrageous, so plenty of beers and plenty of water.
It's more the alcohol the night before that gets you.
It's the first taste of El Nino since the weather event was declared.
Our climate drivers are really tending us towards above average temperatures over the coming months and below average rainfall. Dangerously
hot, dry and windy conditions had fire crews on high alert.
We've had some conditions which haven't been favourable for us, but very luckily we've had lots of hard-working crews that have put long hours in to bring this fire under control.
More than 30 fires are burning across the state, from Townsville in the north to Ballindine near the New South Wales border.
Temperatures are expected to drop later tonight when a cool change sweeps across the southeast. Relief for now, but with a long, hot summer ahead, today is just a taste of what's to come.
Residents living in public housing towers are feeling blindsided by the government's decision to knock down their homes. As part of sweeping houses reforms, all public housing towers in Melbourne will be demolished and rebuilt by 2051. Some have compared the government's approach to being knocked down at the height of the pandemic.
Public housing resident Mohammed has spent the day taking calls from worried neighbours.
It's just been a lot of fear and anxiousness and confusion and unsurety about what exactly the process is.
No notice, no nothing. Everybody's shocked.
By 2031, their homes in North Melbourne and Flemington will be knocked down. They're the first to go under the government's plan to demolish all 44 of Melbourne's public housing towers.
We don't know where we're going to go. That's very, very scary.
Over the next 30 years, all towers will be knocked down and redeveloped to triple the number of people living there, though social housing will only see a 10% boost. The government says it's door-knocked more than 4,000 homes so far to notify residents.
Randomly, a door knock on the door saying, hey, your entire life, your entire supports are all going. To where? You don't know. To answers? You don't know. Here's a QR code.
Exactly the same thing as they've done for the COVID-19 lockdown.
We'll have opportunities to house those people, and we will, We'll house them as close to schools and hospitals and other support services, family, as we possibly can.
Today, the Premier was selling the government's new planning reforms, including taking away some powers from councils to speed up the application process.
Many of these councils have had a long time, they've had their chance, they have not made the sort of decisions they should be making.
The government says the worst offenders for delayed permit applications are Darebin, Cardinia and Yarra councils.
Councillors represent their local communities, putting sunlight, scrutiny, transparency and accountability over those decisions.
Yes, there is scope to reform the system, but Daniel Andrews is the worst offender when it comes to sitting on planning applications.
The government says a task force for resolving council planning delays will be established by November.
In sports, the PNG and Australia Prime Minister's 13 matches is set to commence this Saturday, but rugby league fans are already fired up for the games. At the League Belong Life School Clinic program held at the Port Moresby Rugby League field today, school children came to meet their favourite NRL players and went through basic football skills with the Stars. Australian side centre Zach Lomax was one of the fan favourites. Seeing how the players were treated, Lomax said the football atmosphere is great here. Lomax and the Australian side are expecting a similar football atmosphere at the Santos National Football Stadium for their clash against PNG side come the weekend. The Australia Prime Minister's 13 sides arrived in the country Thursday afternoon. New Zealand have overwhelmed Vanuatu 27-0 at St Peters in Papate to confirm their place as the Group B winners at the OFC Under-16 Women's Championship and set up a semi-final with Tonga on Saturday. The pre-tournament favourites flexed their muscles and showed their credentials in a dominant display to ensure the 100% record in the group stages. 4 goals in the first half by centre forward Angela Pivac set the tone for the 90 minutes, with captain Ella Zeres set the heart of the side's attacking endeavours. Zeres herself grabbed 2 in the first 45 minutes to add to the score. Victory for New Zealand sees them top Group B, with Tonga confirmed as their semi-final opponents. For Vanuatu, they will face the Solomon Islands in the playoffs for 7th place on Sunday. Player of the match, Angela Pivac speaks on her side's win.
To play and just focus on playing forward and using every performance to be better than the next one and keep playing like that, yeah, very much. And I think a bit of preparation will go to that, and as I said, just playing better every single game and trying to build as a group. Obviously we had our first training session together like 2 days before our first match, so I think just really focusing on our team chemistry and just being better every match. I think rest is like always important to get your proper amount, and also physical training, but rest is very important, so obviously we'll be working on our chemistry and doing team bonding and stuff, having fun in our downtime as a team, because that's always important.
Thanks for watching. Join us at 6 tonight for more.